Gamers, today we're back with another guide, and today we're gonna be doing how to play French like a professional gamer. So as you guys know, French is not one of my main saves, but I'm pretty sure I can still play decently well. To be fair, not many people are playing French as their prior pick, but last patch did something interesting, which it introduced a cock. And that means Chamber of Commerce landmark. So, French and JD, I think, got quite a bit better since the last patch because they got the trade buff and all that. But again, I'm not gonna focus specifically on this patch. We have the new Siege patch soon. I'm gonna focus on overall gameplay as French, what I'm thinking about, and what you want to do in every matchup. We got French versus English, which is very nice because that's I want to do every Civ versus English basically because English is so common. So if you're not aware what this is, I'm going to be doing how to play like a pro with every single civilization. So I'm going to make 16 different videos. So we're going to do, we did English already, we're going to do French, and I'm going to do Rus or Mongol, and so on and so forth, where I kind of explain what your goals are and hopefully play through some of the more difficult matchups for that civilization. So, okay, so right now, his scout is on this side, so I have two options. I can either go through, or I can turn around and go here. I'll go all the way around, actually. I'll go all the way around. So you can basically try to cut all the way through here and scout this side, or you can just continue and scout the edges, and you kind of get almost for sure even trade kind of thing. So in this matchup, there's another sheep, that's nice. So in this matchup, in my opinion, French is favored, and this is a matchup that French has always been favored. And the reason French has been favored is because you have the map control, so there's a lot of options open up for you. Now, this is a map that does not have trade, so it kind of changes the dynamic a little bit, because I'm not going to have traders, which English usually, you know, they don't trade. But I'm still going to try to play to my best ability. Now, I would probably go cock in this matchup too, but because this map doesn't have trade, we're going to go just the standard landmark. Put it here. So you usually want to put your production, your first School of Cavalry forward, because you want to... I don't know what's up with my throat. You usually want to put it forward, and the reason for that is eventually when you make a keep with French, you want to make it like here, so it's protecting your economy and your TC, or maybe even here. And you also get discounted units as well. So, yeah. I'm going to make a mill here. Usually you make a mill on the berries, but because the deer in this map are so close, I'm going to just use that to my advantage. And probably just go on deer super quickly. Now, I want to make... so you can make as many knights as you want. I would definitely suggest you always make at least one. But I'm going to get wheelbarrow. And you can make one knight, you can make two knights. 3 is, I think, overdoing it, because I am going to go for 2 TC. So I think if you make 3 knights, you're kind of over-making them quite a bit. And it's like, at that point, you might as well just not even make a TC kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm going to push in this deer a little bit. Okay, I don't... What the... How did that deer go down? What the hell just happened? Alright. Okay, let's get a house. I got wheelbarrow. I'm gonna go for 2 knights total. Yeah, let's go for 2 knights. Okay, I'm struggling a little bit, but it's fine. We'll manage. So another good thing about this matchup is you're gonna have more workers because you produce faster, right? From your town center. So if you go 2 TC versus 2 TC, you should have better economy than your opponent, which is very nice. Get that here since you pushed it in. So now we're gonna go see what he's doing. I got my knight, and I should probably move the sheep on this side. So if he's going second TC as well, that's fine. If he has a king, I'm gonna probably rally this second knight that I'm gonna make in my base, so that I can help defend. Okay, okay, so I see the king, so I don't need to go back. I can just do that. Got 1 food.
Let's go, TNX for the guides, waiting for the Bizen guide, been struggling against English lately as Bizen main.
Ooh, no second TC. Thank you so much for the bits, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. So no second TC from him, which is very interesting. Going here would be, like, I would take too much damage on my knight, so I don't want to do that. Okay. That's a good TC spot, and I don't think he can prevent it. Now, I snuck through all the way around. Double barrack spearman. Can I go here? No. Okay, double barrack spearman. That's interesting. So, I'm gonna need some wood. So this is kind of rough. This is why I usually want to play it safer and make sure you have both knights back at home. But my scouting was a bit late, so I didn't know if he was going second TC. If I saw that he's not going second TC, I would just probably stay in my base with all the knights and stuff. But it is what it is. So now we defended that. I got a second TC. Now you want to look for areas to cover or protect. So this looks like a pretty good side to wall off immediately to prevent any harassment. And I'm going to need archer ranges immediately. Because we know he's double barracks spearman. So there's not even one barracks, there's double barracksing. I can wall this too. And now what I want to do is just get some e-coverage. This looks like a castle rush to me. We're gonna take that. Yeah, this looks like a castle rush to me. I'm gonna make a scout. And actually, I'm not gonna overmake the units. I'll go back with this one. This guy's walling off. So the only place of attack is here. I'm gonna go check how many on gold, but I don't know why he went double barracks if he's rushing castle. Huh? Let's see, what do we got? This map often ends up in like siege versus siege battles, so something to be aware of. Oh, why does he have? He has blacksmith as well. I'm very confused with what he's doing. Man at arms now? Okay, he's definitely going for some kind of push. So we're gonna go more archers. And we're gonna start making more units. Yeah, this is a bit weird what he's doing, but I should still not get caught off guard, you know? So I have a pretty good setup defensively. This house is pretty bad spot. I'll remove it at some point. So he might die my TC, but other than that, there's nowhere else he can attack. So that's really nice for me. Okay. Yeah, see that? Like, this is going to be a very awkward situation for him. And that's why setting up your base in a good way is very, very important. He also didn't mine a lot of gold. He mined 1.6k, which means he cannot go castle from it, especially because he made men-at-arms. And he probably got eco upgrades. Yeah, there's more units coming. He's going like mass melee spearman men-at-arm. So I'm going to need to target fire quite a lot here to survive. If he's going pure men-at-arm at some point, I need to have knights. So I need to get more production ability, actually. I feel like I have enough on food now. Oh, I just gotta crank it up. I'm gonna get textiles, because he is very committed to this, and I'm already very ahead, right? So I'm gonna get +1 range attack immediately, and I'm gonna queue up the melee armor. It's pretty good if he's going full melee comp, right? Okay, so now we're just chilling here. The attack is going to be pretty big. Still don't know where he's going to attack from, but let me just limit more sides of entry in my base. I'll see, this might be a difficult hold. Would be good to get this. Even semi-walled would be very nice. See, like just creating a little choke point against melee units is very nice. See how that just kind of fucks him up a little bit? I'm gonna remove this house. So now he needs to make a ram. So again, this just delays his push a little bit, which is all I'm looking for. You know, I'm not looking to make him not attack at all. I just want to delay stuff a bit. Oh, he might go for an age up here at some point, which I can't really scout. Actually, I can't. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe he's like giving up on the whole attacking idea now. Not quite sure what the plan is from him. But I have a shit ton of units. I can check gold. This looks like an age up. I'm gonna stop. Nope. Okay. Just weird macro, I guess. So again, I'm gonna pick off a lot of units before the fight even starts. 5 spearmen, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so he has very few spearmen. I can just kill him now, but I'll just play it clean. So I don't need my units shooting in a TC anymore. Or from a TC, I'm just gonna start repairing because I don't want to lose it. I'm gonna cancel all my units in queue now. I'm gonna destroy these. Now I would transition to farms, and then we age up, and then we get the relics. So that was very, yeah, very one-sided defense. But yeah, this is why you don't really go mass men-at-arms or something as English and feudal against most civs, especially against knight civs. It just doesn't really work. Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of farms and stuff, but just this kind of thing doesn't do too well. Now the thing is about this matchup, let's say I went to TC, he goes to TC. I have 2 knights, he has a king. So I can actually do more harassment and force TC in a worse spot. And I also two-shot villagers, so the threat of French knights compared to king is a lot bigger. And if he goes to TC and I go to TC, I will be ahead very quickly because I producing villagers faster. So he kind of needs to age up in castle with King's Palace. And because he's aging up in castle with King's Palace, that means that he's not going to have White Tower. So there's some timings you can do, like going double stable after your second TC and just continuously making knights. You get +1 ranged armor, and then you wait for him to start aging up, and then you just run in with like 6 or 8 knights under his TC, and the knights will like never die, and you just keep rallying knights across the map. So yeah, I feel like French just has a good matchup in this because, like I said, you have all the tempo. English cannot really harass your deer because they usually are going to have spearman longbow, right? English is not going to play like this, for example, normally. But if you have spearman longbow, then, you know, every time you move out on the map, you risk of getting harassed by knights, and also you risk of losing your whole army. In this matchup, I feel like if you lose your army once, it's over. I don't think you can come back from it. Here we go. Game number 2. Kraken is going to help out with our game or 2 or 3 with different civs. We're going to try to do some of the hard, like more difficult matchups. Kraken plays a lot of China, one of his main civs, so this should be a good one. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, bad matchups for French are civs that have really good spearmen, or civ like Malian that has javelin throwers into camels later, because that is a bad matchup. So I'm actually gonna take these guys and go there straight away. So Byzantine is pretty rough, Malian is pretty rough. I would say any kind of specialized civs like that where they have really good units against yours is pretty rough. I would also say China can be, but I actually don't think China is that bad of a matchup as some of the other ones, and I'll explain that as we go into this game. Trying to think what other matchup. Ayubid is bad matchup. Abbasid because of the camels and stuff, right? So it's like, it's kind of weird. It's like you do want to go cavalry, but you can't really go cavalry. And if you go any kind of boom, they will outboom you by quite a lot. So yeah, that's kind of the general idea. Now the thing with French is you don't have any matchups, I feel like, where you counter other civs, which is kind of where the French weakness in competitive maybe lies. Is like your counters are very hard counters, and then you have okay matchups. You don't really have matchups that you're like, ooh, love this. Maybe French versus Rus is actually, I think, pretty good for French. French versus English is okay for French, like I mentioned earlier, but in general, I feel like you're at the most even. But depending when you're watching this video, maybe trade French can save French in general, right? Even before this patch that just happened, where they buffed the trade, I think that trade was the way to go in some matchups. And one of the matchups where trade was the way to go, in my opinion already, that's unfortunate, was China versus French. So in this game, I will be going for the cock and trading. Now, why is this a good landmark, or why is this a good stall against China? Because China is going to camp in their base. It's going to make Barbican, Spearman, and then second TC probably, and just chill. And what you want to do is start trading so that it forces your opponent to come out on the map instead of stay in their base the whole time. And once you do that, then you're forcing China to fight you in feudal, which, if you have knights, you should have decent matchup into that.
Beasty.
Okay, so the reason we went on deer immediately, by the way, is if you find deer immediately as French, it's okay to just immediately, like if you find it right on start, as I did, it's okay to just go for them straight away, because you can get upgrade, especially if you're going for cock, so you can get upgrade started. And because it's forward, it's pretty exposed, right, the deer, so you don't want to get it later. I would prefer to get it now than get it later when the opponent is pushing or attacking or whatever else, right? So the trade is not in an amazing position, but it's okay. His food is right here. And now I want to figure out what he's going for. But he also might be attacking me very early. He's pushing some deer. We're going to stop that immediately. Okay. And traders are coming out every 15 seconds now, right? So it's very, very good. I think it's 15. Okay, I'm gonna send a worker there because I want to build a market immediately. This trade ain't that good. One cute thing you can do is, I can show it right here. So because my market is in a bad spot, like this one, you would prefer it to be on the other side so you can complete the first trade without rushing the normal market. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trade to the opposite side of the map. I'm getting all the eco upgrades because this is gonna give me free traders. I'm gonna make a market right here. So instead of trading here and having a crap trade, I'm just gonna do a trade across the map and get the first drop off with good amount of gold. My food income is very good because I've been on the deer the entire time, and deer are very, very good and very, very nice. I'm gonna build a stable. This one can ship here. So let's see what he is doing right now. No second TC, so he's probably just gonna do a push here. Okay, I'll start doing some kind of walls here. Okay, so I can make a trader now, but it looks like he is gonna commit to feudal most likely. Leona, thanks so much for raid. Hope you had a good stream. Thank you. But I need to find... I need more workers on wood. He's just walling. He might also go fast castle, actually. I need to scout that. I don't know what he's doing still. Which is a bit worrying. I'm gonna make an archer range as well. Yeah, a bit worrying. He's hiding what he's doing very well. Okay, spearman. I'm gonna have to send this guy back. So you can see he's gonna be super aggro now, and it's very good that I got the deer in the front first. We're still walling. Yeah, that's a lot of spearmen. So I went double archer range, which is very nice. And I didn't see any Zugunu build. I'm gonna move these guys. No second TC. Okay, so I'm gonna make a trader here and there, but I'm not going to commit to it because he is looks like he's all inning, so I don't need to commit to like making too many. Oh my god, that's so bad. I don't need to commit to making like too many traders or something. I can make a tower here for some vision because I lost my scout because I'm bad. So he's gonna have a lot of spearmen.
Attention. Ok. Ordine tenet. Si vol. Comme
So he'll have to transition out of this or second TC or something else. Like he can't just make spearmen only. Okay, he's gonna go horseman. Okay, so I kind of want to secure this side first. So he's gonna try to push every side basically, or both sides at the same time, which is one of the better ways to deal with trade. Oh, we're doing a little micring here and there. Okay, I re-walled, so very nice. Very nice stuff. I'm gonna go on deer right there, because why not? So he might be attacking here with quite a bit very soon. Need to be careful about that. But defending this first attack without taking a lot of damage is very nice. So I should be ahead economically, by the way, not only because I have traders, but I also have faster producing. Why are they going like this? So weird. I'm producing villagers faster, and I'm getting traders, right? Which is very nice. I'm gonna wall this. I could technically pull this boar in. Oh, that's a lot of units, actually. Need to redirect the trade. Yeah, we're gonna need to redirect this trade. We got the boar in. So he's just massing units. So there's no point to try fight that. Like, I'm still ahead on villagers. Or sorry, workers economy, because he has song, but I do have traders, even though they're not active. So I don't want to like overcommit now and lose everything. I can just regroup a little bit. And we can just do a crap trade for a little bit. That's a lot of units. So we're doing this shit trade. Okay, his army's still there. We're gonna extend the trade there.
Ordinez attention. Novos ordine. Dolme bien.
Sì, bene.
Attention.
Si sono messi.
Tuts au
Sì, bene.
Okay. So now what I want to do
Sacre Bloom.
is defend this and hopefully re-establish my trade.
quoi d'amour?
I'm a bit scared he counterattacks me. What I can also do is just not move here. That's a lot of units. I can just age up here. I'm not getting a lot of gold. 32 gold per trade, but it's better than 0. So I'm just gonna do an age up here, actually. I like that move quite a bit.
Tuts audite.
Let's go Guild Hall as well. And then we're gonna mine stone so I can make a keep here, so my stuff gets reduced in price. And we're gonna keep producing units. That's pretty important. You don't want to slack. And now we can make some more traders. So he's waiting for me to trade, right? But I am trading, just not very efficiently. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. So I think he might be a little bit surprised when I aged up. Okay, he's aged up too. I'll send one knight there.
Escolte ben. Marchier hier muet restos.
Archers, les commandements viennent. Oyez, marchier hier. Archers, vos. Archers. Archers, le ferai.
Pas au-dessus d'en besoigner.
Archers. Archers. Le demeure est Wenslash to go.
Okay. He's coming.
Archers, oyez, commandement.
Oh, I don't have the +1 range armor. That's pretty bad.
Oyez, tout le monde. Baillets
Donnez
muet.
chance. Honor.
Archers, vos. Archers. Archers.
That is a massive army. Holy. My archers are not upgraded yet. Not having +1 armor is actually really bad. Yeah, not having +1 armor might have lost me the game here. We'll see. Okay. Let's see, maybe we can still do something here. I got 11 traders, which is not a lot. I'm killing some villagers there. He doesn't see it, which is very good. He got distracted while we were fighting, so he's not paying attention to that. I can also get a lot of free traders now by getting eco upgrades, which is very nice. We kill that. See, sending that one knight, how much damage it did. And it might be like in the moment, like, oh shit, I can't afford it. But it did a lot of work there. Now we redirect again. I actually need to get some workers on gold, because that is not enough. I can do a push soon, I think. I do want to get I do want to get +2 damage though. And I also want to start making farms. I don't have a lot of gold though, that's the problem. I kind of want to put more on gold. Come on, gold. Oh, the traders are so far. Okay, this is pretty big because we're getting discounted units, and this becomes pretty hard to break now, right? Let's try to do a push or do some kind of pressure maybe. Not sure how much he has. Oh fuck, he's gonna fight me. Okay, I have to go defend. But I'm gonna go raid as well. Like I said, you can't just defend, especially if you take damage. You gotta go. I'm gonna get an eco upgrade here. Deny that. Pick up some crossbows. Pick up the nest of these nuts. He's making more nests of these. Alright. Let's start transitioning to farms. There's a nest of bees coming. Maybe not. Okay, I have too many archers, so I should transition to something else. Also get a monastery.
Besoigné à faire, il trèche sens nul à reste.
I want to do some harassment here, and I'm going to go back with these guys. I kind of need anti-siege. I also don't know if he's on 1 TC or not. This stone is not mine. Okay, food. We're checking everything now. I'm getting a lot of information here. So it looks like some of these farms just finished. Imperial official. Good. Stone not mine. Okay, he's 1 TC. So this is very, very playable right now. I'm gonna go take the relics. I don't want the gold, I just don't want him to get the relics. Okay, we're gonna start using stone walls here.
Ici donc.
Que fa-t-il donc?
Oyet.
Oyet.
Bovon savoir. Adaptant tout le monde.
Get some more farming going.
Oyet, tout le monde. Giovanni,
Oi, guerre. I ves donc. On me fa au trail.
acceptez vos. Archer.
En besogne. Besogne.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big army. Oh, not very actually. My army's big. My army is very big. His army not so much. Okay, so he wants to fight, but now he knows I have a Springald. So this is most likely gonna make or break the game. If I can defend this, I'll be in a really, really good spot. If I can't, I'm gonna be in a really, really bad spot. Hey, did I not kill a single one there?
Oyet. Alors, ça tresse tous. Oyet. Advertance. Oyet.
Si sera fait. Aucun spoil.
Oyet, les ordonnances. J'ouvre.
Mon arc est prêt.
Okay, we're alive. But alive but might be dead anyway.
Advertance. Alerte. Maintenant, Oyet, tout le monde. Marche arrière, mouette. Advertance, tout le monde.
Sommes en ordonnance.
Oyet.
Attendez les commandements. À l'arson,
We'll see. It's a pretty rough one. Cause I'm so close to holding and just not bleeding out anymore. But he's doing a good job of just putting on the pressure, right? I think I might be fucked. I think I might be ditch.
Oyet, tout le monde. Lors, bat. Bayet, mouette.
So I'm kind of holding, but I lost a lot of villagers just now. Pretty sure he is very far ahead now in Nico.
Oyet, les civet.
Soyez, c'est comme votre
Régiment demande. Ayez cure, Aux, comment? Attentif.
attendez les comme avant. Compagnon.
Presse. Déteste vos commandements.
Oyet, les ordonnances. Advertance, tout le monde. Marche arrière, mouette. Tous dialogue. Oyet.
Besoin.
Advert. Lors, devant Snors, à l'air.
Oyet.
Oyet, tout le monde.
Yeah, he might like age up now and just kill me or something.
Oyet, les ordonnances.
Oyet,
We'll see, but it's pretty rough. He played it pretty well, as in like he was attacking in a good spot and so on. I feel like I could have played it a bit more safe, but yeah, it's pretty rough, I think, overall. I want to try to raid his ass. Guild Hall probably has a... Oh my god, I have 5k food in it. This is a very good raid right now. I'm doing quite a lot of damage in the back as well. I actually don't have enough production, which is kind of sad. Okay, I stopped his eco for a very long time. So I should be able to do something here. What I do want to do is make another town center. And now we're going to switch to full horsemen, because I am very much out of gold. So what I'm going to do is just mass horsemen like a fucking baboon. So I can continue raiding him everywhere. We're gonna get this, which boosts our income quite a bit.
Oyez tous. Bien, bien, je le vais faire.
Nous attendons les bousculiers. Nous allons. À l'action. Piquez les deux. Les coups. Nous allons. Moult me plaît votre présence.
I really want to save this keep of mine there. That would be quite big if I saved it. Could also get university. So he is now, every damage he takes is a lot worse for him than it was to take for me, because he has way less eco. Right? He might have another TC somewhere now, but even if he does, it's like, I'm doing quite a bit of damage. Let's get this. Let's get eco upgrades, because they're also gonna give me the thing. More traders. We go biology. Yeah, he's losing a lot of workers everywhere now, so that's very good for me. Very nice. And now, because I have a lot of food eco, I just want to overwhelm now and try to do as much damage as I can while I have this tempo lead.
Advertance. Voici les commandements. L'ennemi nous prend en cachette. En cure de ce matin. Attendez vos deux bruits. Ainsi soit. Nous actons. Nous allons. Dictonos, quelqu'un peine à battre. Nos destriers rongent leurs freins.
I'll go crossbow still. Crossbows have a lot of melee armor, so they're actually quite good against melee units, funnily enough. They're not OP, but they're pretty good.
Nous allons avoir les déforés les beaux à l'arceau. Prêts pour nos destriers. Coustiliers en ordonnance. Les coustiliers sont prêts. Si ça rappelle selon votre commandement. À l'arceau. Nous attendons. Allons plus que le pas. À l'arceau. Nous prêts pour les commandements.
So now, because my gold income is going up again, I'm gonna make sure I have all the good upgrades. And then I can actually go back to knights, because obviously knights are just better, right? I'll make sure that's repaired. Just gathering gold here. I forgot another thing, which I can extend my trade. We're gonna break this and just go insta harass. Second TC, I'm gonna go destroy that. Oh, he wasn't Imperial, I didn't even realize. 42 traders, boom. So he's struggling, I think, right now pretty badly. This is just Spearman army. I'm gonna snipe this TC.
Voici les commandements. Un hostel à Beastyqt.
Voyez bien. Allons plus que le advise pour votre engin. Nous allons avoir. Allons plus que le prêt pour. Voyez bien les commandements.
Okay, so I'm in a really good spot now.
Nous avons le sadon. Où voulez que j'aille? Je me mets. Oui, je advise pour votre. J'ai pour vous.
I'm gonna lose this one, but it's fine. We're gonna get knights.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get some Ribaldiquins. I get that. This is looking very good for me right now. Speaking of workers everywhere, traders are now trading again to full. I have a scout in that army, I don't think he realized.
Nous attendons les commandos. Si sera
So I saw the villagers running away.
sont prêts. Si sera fait selon votre plan. L'assaut, prêche pour les commandements. Votre Beastyqt est bien clair. Vous devez... Joy, quel est votre plaisir?
Okay. Okay, his army is coming.
Nous avons un fort. Allez.
Nos destriers en arceau.
Advertance. Nous avons un port.
Reste tous. Écoute.
Votre plaisir est en ordre.
Nous avons les commandements reçus.
Oyez,
Nous attendons les commandements. Les coustiliers piquez les deux. Votre Beastyqt est bien clair.
Qu'attendez-vous de vous? Maintenant, prêt pour la besogne. Ainsi qu'ils sont. En fait, nos accomplis.
Juste et nous accompagnons. Juste et notre...
Les engins ainsi soit. Tout est en piste pour vos tranches. Envoyez, soudard. Suivez l'artillerie. Engins de siège, ainsi sera fait.
Oh my god, the hand cannoniers just fucking busted all my units.
Le champ s'il souhaite. Le champ nous attend. Chevalier, on doit pour
I don't have boiling oil, which is pretty bad by me.
chevalier. Attendez-vous de moi. Maintenant, juste nous, c'est en ordre. Reste sous pour la bataille. Le champ nous attend. Chevalier,
I don't have boiling oil, it's so bad.
reste sous. Chevalier, au revoir pour la nuée. Juste
And I don't even have the, this is so bad.
reste tous. Allons.
nous attendons, nous allons balancer peu, ce soit-il fait, compagnon Forestier. Juste reste sous pour la bataille. Le champ nous attend. Nous attendons s'il est fait à tout de suite. Le champ nous attend.
Oyez,
Advertance.
Juste et notre peau. Envoyez, chevalier.
This is actually really bad by me, because I've had the game now, and I just fucking threw it.
Attendons, ce soit-il reste.
If I had boiling oil there, he would run under TC and get burned alive.
Nous avons nos commandements.
Maybe it's still okay, but
exploitons l'ouvrage.
I don't know, I guess we'll see.
Nos ordonnances. Prêt. Suivez l'engin. Reste tous, écoute les ordres. Nous avons les commandes. Suivez l'engin.
I think I still might be okay.
Advertance. Soudard, nous avons nos commandements. Soudard, dites-nous si quelqu'un vient abattre.
Nous attendons vos commandements. Balancez presse. En presse. Nous attendons vos commandements.
Les engins de siège sont prêts.
Juste et notre fille.
Tout est ordonné.
Nous attendons
Oui, la parma.
le champ.
Engins de siège, assis.
Balancez presse.
Les engins, ainsi soit-il.
S'il le fait à tout de qui. Je fais le presse.
Voyez tout. Voyez tout.
Yeah, this was a pretty big throwback. Like I said, maybe it's still okay.
Bien, reste tous avec moi. Voyez tout.
Les commandements que reste sous.
Nous avons les commandements. Envoyez, soudard, suivez l'artillerie. Fait.
Reste tous. Écoute les ordonnances. Assistez vos potes.
Like, this was a huge army for him, right?
Fait, le continent. Nous avons un fort. Allez. Voyez, oui.
Soudard, fais ici les ordonnances.
À l'arceau. Nos destriers rongent leur...
Reste tous. Écoute les ordres.
À l'arceau. Les coustiliers. Nous attendons nos piliers. Nos cartes. Je fais ma... Nos destriers rongent leurs freins. En arceau, coustiliers. Les coustiliers sont prêts.
I just gotta stabilize.
Coustiliers.
It's funny because if this was somewhat of an even game, I'm dead there. Like, that was a throw, right? But I think, I might be wrong, but I think I'm alright.
Nous allons.
Nos ordonnances sont la sus.
Les coustiliers sont prêts. Ainsi soit fait.
Voyez tous, nous avons un fort. Allez.
Les coustiliers sont prêts.
J'attends vos advices.
À l'arceau, coustiliers. Nous allons. Chapelet-les, coustiliers. En arceau, coustiliers. Destriers rongent leur... Coustiliers, nous attendons les commandes. Nos destriers rongent leur... Piquez les deux.
He's going down.
Reste tous. Oui. Il va convaincre. Voyez tous. Voici les commandements. Prêt. Prêt ici les commandements.
Le bouton est prêt.
Arbalétrier, trayez bas.
Les coustiliers. Coustiliers, on en... Nos caresses. Quelle est notre besogne? Ne clamez de rien, ne posez-vous.
Voyez les commandements. Arbalétriers, soyez à suspect.
Et ici les ordonnances.
Nous allons avoir les commandements.
Nos arbalètes sont à suspect.
Nous attendons les poussez-vous, Samuel.
Nos arbalètes
Prêche pour les
Let's see if we can hold.
Point de minier. Voyez, mais ici les ordonnances. J'attends vos appuis. Ayez cure aux ordonnances. 13-12, écoute les ordonnances.
Les engins de siège, les engins.
Ils ont mes ordonnances.
Tout est ordonné.
Tenez bien vos courbissez vos bastons.
Engins de siège, nous accomplissons vos ordonnances. Engins de siège acquis. Ils vont passer.
I think I'm fine.
Tout est ordonné.
Nous attendons. Nos destriers, les coustuliers sont prêts. Le champ, tout est... C'est un ordre. Le champ nous attend.
Reste tous. Écoute les ordonnances. Engins, les casiers à soupe.
Tenez bien vos levrines, nous partons.
Tout est ordonné. Oui, la pharma.
Et notre coach, chevalier.
Les engins de siège sont prêts.
Yeah, I think I'm too far ahead economically, and I'm raiding in the back the whole time, which is pretty nice.
Engins de siège.
Voici les commandes.
Le champ nous attend.
You can see I almost threw that. Buggers. But I didn't!
Chevalier en ordre.
Joy, quel est votre plaisir?
Okay, guild hall is on stone. I got 3k stone right there. Okay, so we should now work towards an actual win condition so I don't throw.
Nos commandements.
Again, and again, and again. Okay, this was well harassed. Let's pull out of the guild hall.
Nous avons suivi l'engin, Soudard.
So I can see these golds. He's not mining there. He's not gathering anything there. I'm gonna try to find wood villagers here. There we go.
Soudard, c'est quoi de minutes, Soudard? Nous avons nos commandements.
Did I get all the upgrades? University, man at arm. I mean, I'm probably not gonna make man at arm, but
Ainsi il souhaite. Nous acceptons. Ce sera pour au moins un an.
why not?
Suivez l'engin, Soudard. C'est
Okay, go
casier.
destroy those.
Sur la sus, oui, la par main.
Ayez cure aux ordonnances. Advertance.
Oh, he's going again.
Reste, chevalier.
Voici les commandements. Voici les commandements. Obéis, si ferai-je comme émandé.
Le champ, nous allons avoir les
He has no gold, so he's just making spearmen, which should not work unless I throw again. But I usually like to throw once per game. Like, I don't usually throw more than that because I feel like I'm overdoing it then. You know what I mean? I want to stay consistent. Clean up. GG. Okay, so he played that really, really well, by the way. If against most players, I think they would like go to TC or just do a Zugin all-in. But he went with like attacking on two sides, and I was kind of struggling to hold there for a bit. But the main point to get out of this game is you can always like shorten your trade. And the market is clearly gonna die. Like, don't just send the traders and lose. Just cut the trade in half and just trade there. Because if you look, like I played pretty sloppy. Like you can see my ecos going up and down. But here, right? If I played a little bit better, I don't lose anything. Like I've been ahead in economy the whole time. And if you look at the gold and everything else, you can kind of see the results. So. Yeah, and again, Krakeny plays China a lot, and I think he plays this kind of style against trade a lot, so I think he knows how to deal with it. But I would say if you're playing against China, you definitely want to go trade to force most Chinese players will not know how to necessarily play aggressive. So if you go trade, you force them to move out on the map. And then if you force them to move out on the map, you create a game that's a game they're maybe not used to or uncomfortable or whatever else. So I would say Abbasid or Malian are probably the hardest civilizations to beat, by the way. Abbasid because you cannot contest their boom. Like if I went 2 TC cock and he goes 4 TC, I will lose that. Like you might think that you're gonna outboom Abbasid. You will not, sadly. So in the current meta at the top level, and again, I don't know what the balance in the meta is whenever you're watching the video. But as of right now, at the time of recording, Abbasid will absolutely out-macro you in any way, no matter what city you are. So, my suggestion is, if you are playing against Abbasid, just go for super aggression and try to win that way. So, I'm gonna bring it back to 3 years ago, when the game released, when the game just launched, and knights were overpowered. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna send it, baby. Whenever you play French, if you feel like you cannot deal with a civ in a macro game, just go full Zug Zug. And what full Zug Zug is, you just commit. And when I say commit, you commit. You go, okay? And this is one of the matchups where I have tried to macro. I've went 2 TC, I got my trade with like double market, and they transition to farm so fast, and they're just an onslaught of units, and you can't hold it. So yeah. I think you gotta do some good damage against Abbasid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just, like I said, bring it back, and I'm gonna do the old, what is it called? School of Cavalry and fast archers as well. Now, Abbasid used to play always military school in these kinds of matchups, but Abbasid now often plays Eco Wing anyway, because if they go Eco Wing and they go 2 DC, they actually don't need to move out on the map for food. They can just go super early farms. So what I'm going to do is try to put a lot of pressure if he goes Eco Wing, so that he cannot go super fast farms without, you know, suffering some losses in the villager count. And because I'm French, it's not really 2 DC versus 1. You know, it's not as bad because you produce villagers faster. So, there's that. No, you can't really cancel TC from Abbasid. That should not happen. Like, the Abbasid should have TC done by the time you can do something. Or not done, but they should have enough resources gathered to just defend whatever you're doing. Kind of Pepega on sheep. My sheep died too close to one another, so I can't have many villagers on the thing, but I think it's fine. So we're gonna just do the most standard French build. I think this is still on my YouTube, by the way, even though it's recorded long ass time ago. But I think this guide for this build is still on YouTube. So I'm just gonna do standard. We'll get some eco upgrades, and then we're gonna make knights, and we're gonna try to go super fast archer range. And I'm gonna try to continuously make knights so that I can harass. If he goes military wing, his economy will be a lot weaker, so you can potentially do a really good amount of damage and prevent him from like booming and shit like that. And if he goes military wing, he kind of has to go out on the map, so it gives you a little bit of, you know. Now, there's these berries, which if I'm him, I would put a TC there. So I'm gonna rally my knights straight away there. Because, yeah, I would put my TC there. It has gold and berries, so that's very good value right there. Very, very good value, brother. Yeah, I don't need this much gold, so I'm gonna move one away. Let's see what he's doing, and I'm gonna get double broadaxe immediately because I'm staying in feudal for a long time. This is eco wing, I can already tell, because he's chopping the trees around this TC and not going for the trees on the wood line. And you only do this if you are going for echoing to TC. And I know this is very like specific and detailed, but yeah. This might not be true if you're playing in lower leagues, by the way, because people might not know everything perfectly, but at high level you can tell a lot based on how they're gathering stuff and why they're gathering at that moment and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just pretend I'm scouting this way, but my knight is running this way. Let's see. He's walled here, so his TC is gonna be here or here. I cannot, if he goes on the wood line or here, I can't do much about it, most likely. But I cannot let it be on the gold. That would be very, very bad for me. So it looks like he wants to potentially go for another TC right after this, which I am going to try to prevent. Oh, there might be a cancel potentially. Yeah, this is not good for him right now. Yeah, this is a very good start for me. Like, delaying the TC this much is very good. So, very nice start. Love that. Oof, if I could kill the scout, that would actually be sick. I actually want to kill the scout more than I want to kill a villager now. Because I don't know if he's aware that I'm not going for a second town center. Which is something I can use to my advantage. He's going for another TC. Okay, I don't think he knows. He definitely does not know. And I want to actually not let him see my units for as long as possible. And I also want to get very fast +1 ranged armor. Because I want to dive his TCs before he has any units out. He might place a TC here actually, so I'm gonna go there. Another TC there, okay. Oh my god, no. Oh, that's pretty bad. Well, let's see. So my food eco stopped for a bit, but now I'm getting a lot of what's it called? I'm going to be getting a lot of food per minute. So he's just gonna Omega wall. And we're gonna put pressure immediately here. I don't want him to mine any gold. That's a pretty big one. Yeah, so he's 3 TC, which is kind of shows the state of the matchup in Abbasid. Doesn't give a shit.
Audience! Momente si, arquier. Arquier, preparate, arquier. Parat si, comprendo. Equite somme monde. Equite face, move. Quedo, quitamus. Quedorden?
Vandesque. Retorno con materia. Labor speranza.
Audi, equites. Arquier. Olme, equites.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Move, colones.
Now you just gotta commit. So the only thing I can deny right now is the gold. Potentially would, but I don't want him to get upgrades. I don't want him to get like +1 ranged armor and shit like that. So I want to push right now, so I deny all of those. That's my main goal right now. And again, this is still a very hard one, right? This is not like I'm winning or something like that. In fact, I'm probably losing, but yeah, that's just how the matchup is. Although, I feel like a lot of Abbasid matchups are like this right now. So let's try, see what we can do.
Equites attendant. Parate, audience. Momente si, arquier. Ambula. Parate, equites. Obedio. Parate, arquier. Ambula. Momente. Preparate, arquier. Equites sunt parocest. Parat. Equites attendant. Equites sunt palatos. Sopite. Remarte. Si enline. Equites.
Okay.
Qued. Mais.
So he's gonna be out of food soon, or if he's not already. So he's gonna be making farms. So what I wanna do is I wanna hit the farms in the back. Or I can just hit this so that he loses the golden age. I have an archer patrolling on the bottom side to make sure he's not, what's it called? To make sure he's not going for that gold. He might be making a market now and just buying and selling, but the amount of units he's gonna have soon is gonna be pretty wild. Which is why I'm gonna need to micro like crazy to win this. I want to check there.
Quedorden, caballo. Equit Abbasid. Preparate, arquier. Susin, Hotbuen. Momente. Equit, enline, equite. Abbasid. Parate, in. Momente si, arquier. Sus, in. Deusei. Somes, momente si, in avant, arquier. Preparate, arquier. Orchest. Dolmen. Arquier, in avant. Preparate, arquier. Preparate, arquier. Quemantes. Vade, moment. Arquier, olmenien. Parate, arquier.
So this is the good thing about having map control is I can go on his deer even if I wanted to. Because he's so stuck in his base right now. If he loses this, he loses Golden Age, which means he's going to lose a lot of income. Which is very nice for me.
Si, comprendo. Arquier, in avant. Sus quasifect. Nintendo. SUBSCIBE. Momentesi archière. Parates. Parate archière.
He actually doesn't have one of the blacksmith upgrades, so I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, he doesn't have +1 ranged armor, so I might have denied it just now.
Momentesi archière. Attention. Momentesi archière. Bene. Attention. Eccelim de mat. Parate archière. In avant archière. Parate archière. Attention. Momentesi archière. Sacré parate archière.
So I could do something crazy like pull all my villagers and try to snipe his last DC.
Comme me.
He's like giga ahead on economy, but I have stronger army. But I have to keep trading as much as I can. I can't let him, you know, I can't let him do whatever he wants. I'm gonna kill the camel so it doesn't debuff my cavalry. I think I can take this fight. Okay, so now we go for a kill. I'm gonna heal up my knights a bit. He still doesn't have gold. And this is how we're gonna go for a kill. We're gonna giga dive now. I'm gonna try to eliminate him. He has very little units remaining. Very, very little. We're gonna rally units in here. He's trying to repair House of Wisdom. He's either trying to age up or he doesn't want to get eliminated because he knows there's a threat of it. Oh, this angle is really good for me. I'm just tanking with my knights and I'm letting my archers do all the work. And I can hit his whole army with my archers. I'm killing camel archers first because I don't want my shit debuffed. And now we're just gonna go for it. Yeah, he's gonna get eliminated if he doesn't stop this, so he's gonna pull everything. But this is Jover, I think. So yeah, this is a very, very rough matchup. Like, this is... he went 3 TC and you can't kill him, right? Like, imagine any other matchup where someone can go 3 TC and still survive, right? There's a lot of stuff that could have, should have happened. Like, for example, someone might say like, oh, he's unlucky, his gold is here. I mean, that's a side gold, right? It could be worse, it could be forward. But if his gold was in the back, let's say, and then his wood lines were like here and here, I think that's even better for me because the easiest way to stop Abbasid is actually deny the wood line. So if you had forward wood, you can just deny the wood line and play it that way. But because his gold was exposed, I went for that. I am nowhere near running out of food, by the way. I still have 3 deer here. I have boar. I can also take these berries. I mean, I know it looks funny, but I can take this. I can take the deer here. And I still have berries here, and these deer are about to run out. So I have food for another probably 10 minutes. So yeah, you always, when you play 1TC French aggro, you always need to find the point where you want to attack. Like, you don't want to just always attack gold. Because people always ask me, like, when I talk about these things, they're like, so I attack gold versus Abbasid? It's like, well, no, it depends where the gold is. Like, if the gold is in the back, I don't want to go around just to attack the gold, right? I'll just focus on the wood line or something. Imagine Abbasid sent 1-2 horsemen across map and wrecked my food income. Well, if he did that, then he would have less units to defend. And I don't know about wrecking my food income. Horsemen are pretty bad against French, unless you're a massive horseman and spearman. So 2 horsemen would get denied by 1 knight, and then I can just put a tower here. Put a tower here, or I don't even need a tower. I can just put a 100 wood wall. So that it doesn't work that way, you know. It's not like 2 horsemen will come out. I'm like, oh my god, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. Oh, I guess I'm dead. You know, I would see the horsemen pretty early on, and then I would just make sure for the rest of the game that I'm not getting harassed or I'm not gonna die. So if he had horsemen, again, people always assume, like, if the opponent goes spearman archer, people are like, oh, if he had 10 horsemen to raid, yeah, that means he would not have archers. Or he would have way less archers. And that means I can just take a frontal engage and kill him, right? Not having upgrades was a big issue. Yeah, I mean, denying upgrades is always, like, really, really good if you can. But I was telling the stream cracker, like, if your wood line was forward, I would probably go to deny wood line. But because your gold was there, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go for the gold instead. So you gotta kind of pick your own battles, in a way. Order of the Dragon. Alright. Can I make a guide out of that? Okay, let's try. Let us try, shall we? Alright, so this is most likely, probably, I don't know, going to be continuation of the, if you're watching on YouTube, it's all one video, but on Twitch, I did this 2 days ago, because yesterday I didn't stream. So there's going to be a continuation of the, I don't know why I'm scouting here, by the way, this is not a good scouting pattern. Continuation of how to play French like a pro. We have OTD, which is not the most common pick at the top level, but apparently there's a lot of OTD in lower leagues, so maybe it's a good idea to do it. And also, playing against OTD and playing against HRE is more or less the same way you want to approach that. So, let's see what we can do. So, I am getting some lag, so this guy is not European. I can tell you that right away. So there's 2 things that HRE or OTD will do, okay? They're both pretty hard matchups, I'm not gonna lie. And they play very similar, and there's 2 things they're gonna do. First thing is they might do a third thing, which is 2 town center, but 2 town center HRE or OTD is very, very rare these days. What you will most likely meet is either Fast Castle HRE/OTD or just feudal aggression. And you kind of have to know how to deal with both of those, but I think most people struggle with Fast Castle of both of these civs and not, what's it called? Not like the feudal aggression maybe as much, because I also think HRE into French and feudal is not necessarily good for French, but you do have knights, and the strength of HRE in feudal, for example, is the men-at-arms, or OTD as well, right? So, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna age up, and I'm gonna go for probably 2 town centers. Now, I would probably not advise you to go for trade against civs that rush castle. The reason for that is you might, not might, but you're probably not gonna have time to get the trade in full, in its full glory by the time he ages up. So you might be like you just start trading kind of thing, and the opponent is already in castle, and then you can't wall, you can't protect your trade, so there's like a lot of problems that can happen out of that. So something to have in mind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna age up. I'll make 2 knights because I feel like 1 knight, if you mess it up, and you can quickly die. Right? And 2 knights give you enough pressure to where your opponent's gotta be a little bit worried, so you can pick off their villagers and stuff. So we will see. So I'm gonna make 2 knights, I'm gonna get wheelbarrow, and after that I'm just gonna get my second town center. That is the plan, at least. And I'm gonna show you how you can defend. I don't know what this guy's gonna do, obviously, because it's a ladder match. But I'm gonna show you what to do in case he is going for castle rush, or if he's fighting infield, right? So I'm gonna get another 100 gold for my second knight. We're gonna go scout what he's doing. His gold is in the back, which is actually worst case scenario for me, because that means he's got chapel right here, which is like the best chapel. Gorge is actually pretty disgusting for HRA or OTD because your chapel covers a lot of the wood line. So we're gonna get some more gold. These guys we can send on stone. Oh wow, okay. I mean that's normal thing to do, what he's doing with right there. It's very normal to open on deer immediately if you find them. Oh, why am I still mining this? Okay. So what he's doing is normal, and it's actually good. So I'm glad he knows how to play OTD well enough. Now I could have stayed a little bit longer on food to make sure I can queue up second knight immediately, but because he's already towered up, I'm probably not gonna get a lot of damage, but I will get a second knight slowly. Now with most civs, you want to get second TC as fast as possible, but with French I feel like you get a lot of value from getting the knight out, because look, I'm forcing 2 towers immediately, so it can be quite annoying. Now one more thing you can do, which is I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you right now. You can, number 1, force a lot of idle time from your opponent by doing this, what I just did, right? So I just got hit once there, but I can force a lot of idle time by just moving kind of back and forth and attacking. But another thing you can do is, because he is making double tower, now because he's making double tower and he's making 1 on gold, to me this says that he wants to, there we go. He wants to age up, right? He's probably gonna age up, no units, because if he was making units he would make only 1 tower, you don't need 2. Now this has been unfortunate, he sees my villager, but it will probably not matter. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tower rush his gold, and when you tower rush his gold, let's keep mining that for a little bit longer. Tower rush is gold. You either force another tower, which he doesn't have wood for, right? So he doesn't have wood for another tower. So what I'm doing right now is either making him panic, build another tower, or he's trying to build like archer range or something else. So we'll see. Okay, he's making spearmen. So he made a spearman. So that's nice. So we forced him to make an extra barracks. Maybe he did mine extra wood, I don't know. But if he was doing like pure castle rush, then he wouldn't have extra wood, so it caused a lot more problems, right? And now, even though this might look like it didn't do any damage, it delays the castle by quite a bit for him. Let's see if we can pick off something on the other side. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm not going to actually rush castle. So with most civs, you would want to rush castle and try to you know, make sure you have crossbows or whatever for the opponent. But because he is playing OTD/HRE and I'm playing French, you can actually fight with feudal units against castle units because you have night charge. I guess I can remove this. I'm gonna make a tower here actually, because he might go. He might go on those resources.
Wait, mais
There we go. So right now I'm getting pretty far ahead on the villager count, right? Like really far ahead, because not only I'm producing faster, I also have 2 town centers, so that is very nice. So we're gonna push these spearmen back. Send this guy there. Now upgrade this tower. Since I mined ooh, that's not what you want to do. Since I mined the what's it called, the extra stone, I just decided to place a tower here to possibly deny him going to that deer pack later on. Okay. Do want to get some of my eco upgrades because I'm going to have a lot of workers and a lot of these resources right now. And if he's going cathedral, I want to obviously prevent the relics as much as I can. So that's something I really want to see what he's going for. His landmark should be here if he has one. Okay, it is cathedral, and we want to see where does his first guy go. What's his name? Where does his first prelate go? Because I do want to prevent him from getting relics. If possible, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one should be here. That's where he was going. Should probably make spearmen actually against this. So, if you maintain aggression, then it's going to be very hard for him to like push out on the map and get the relics and whatnot. But if you just let him do whatever he wants, then he's going to get like all the relics, and then the gold income will be a bit too much. So you can see, even though I'm fighting with feudal units, you can overwhelm the amount of units. And this works the same for HRE and OTD. So you can fight it like this by simply micring your heart out. Now if I get this is a really good pick-off. He took the relic on this side, which I'm gonna try go stop. I just saw him there. So while he might be getting relics in the end, I am slowing down his relic gathering, gold income, and everything else quite a lot right now. He took this relic, so I'm gonna go kill that. There it is. Okay. We have an age up soon. In general, this is how you want to play against HRE or OOTD, the Russian castle. This is what you will see most top players do. We're gonna kill that. So far he's taken 0 relics, right? What I can do is actually get rams now. So the units that he's lost, by the way, are big expensive units, right? He has lost like 5 or 6 spearmen. Which is quite big. And I can also try now to get the relics as well, which would be quite huge. Okay, I don't have a lot of units right now. Because my, oh. I got caught off guard there. I ran into his units basically. It's pretty bad, to say the least. But now we clean up the spearmen and we can still continue fighting. I'm gonna try to surround that. Got another prelat. We kill all that. Very nice. And now, because I lost all the archers, I'm actually not gonna bother even upgrading archers. I'm just gonna go crossbows immediately. I'm getting a lot of stone because I want to upgrade. Or sorry, I want to make a keep so my unit cost is reduced. And now he shouldn't have a lot of units, so this should be quite good for me. I'm looking at relics, and like I'm always keeping an eye out on them. I'm checking where, when they're taken, you can see them disappear from the mini-map. Okay, we're gonna rotate here. We're gonna rotate this side immediately. We're gonna make a keep right here to get the reduced cost. Well, getting farm transition. I took 2 relics from that side of the map. Now, it doesn't look like, I mean, he has okay amount of farms. I'm gonna check this in the back with 1 knight. But in general, this game has went really well for me. And by the way, I know this is like, I'm not expecting people in lower leagues to do this, right? But you also have to remember the opponent that you're going to be playing against also is not going to play like really well and you know, might throw his knights as OTP and always be in position and so on and so forth. But this is kind of the general idea of how you want the matchup to go. This was like almost perfect. I would say it's a paid actor if I didn't know better. So at this point, a lot of people also have issues killing OTD or HRE because they're like, well, how do I push? They have Springle Towers, they have this, they have that. There's two things you can do. You can either age up and just play a long game, because I'm super far ahead. I mean, I have 4 relics, I have sacred sites, I have so much shit, right? So you can do that. And just play the rest of the game with massive eco lead, or you can try to end. So I'm gonna try to show you the ending version into what I would usually probably advise against, which is to attack into the Springle Towers, but I'm gonna do it for content. I'm gonna keep making units. I'm gonna make a tower here and rush that. I gotta keep here blocking his golds and his stone. Look at that. Look at that timing. That's a juicy timing right there. I'm getting boiling oil. I don't really need it because I don't think he's gonna be pushing me anytime soon, but whatever. I got all my eco upgrades. I'm gonna go on this gold so that I can mine that gold out first. I can also take this boar right here, and we can start pushing into the cathedral straight away. And if you force an emergency repair, like, just attack something else, you know. So many people like just keep denting into the emergency repair, like just attack something else. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so I can actually go mass archers here because he's making spearman crossbow. So another thing you can do in this situation is do something like this. You can, if you see that you can't fight, so right now his army is a lot better, so I don't need to commit into this, you know, like I can just go transition now, for example. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically waste these rams. I'm gonna try to kite as much as possible, and I'm just gonna try to butcher his economy in the back. And I'm just gonna choose to age up here, right? So again, I am pushing, and I'm doing game-ending damage, but I'm not all-inning into this, right?
We have won that tournament on Saturday. Love you, bro.
And this is not, like, I'm not all-inning here, and these are OTD villagers, by the way, so he's losing... He's losing a lot of eco. A lot of eco. I should try to pick up a couple of these crossbows. I go guild hall, boom. And we can age up right there. Now crossbows are always pretty good for French, so it's like you don't really need to move away from them. They're very strong. This is looking pretty safe. Okay. So right now I should have very big economic lead. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch now. So I'm not gonna make knights anymore. This is a very good place to switch because he has a lot of crossbows and a lot of spearmen. So what I'm gonna do, he has some spearmen, man-at-arms, and horsemen or whatever. So knights are pretty... This guy's still gathering here. Knights are gonna get giga countered by pretty much everything he has. So what I can do... Oh, for some reason I didn't even register that that's getting decapped. I could have gone for Sacred Side Wind there. I'm gonna upgrade my units. Got that. Got that. I can go University immediately because my eco is crazy good. I can even queue up all eco upgrades, right? Look at that. I basically just queued up the whole game. more eco damage. Like, I'm not trying to end the game here, I'm just extending my lead. I'm gonna get Tithe Barns as well, because why not? He cleared this up, so he's gonna maybe try to move out, because I just aged up, so he's trying to like punish or do some damage. I'm gonna get incendiary arrows first, because most of my army is crossbows. So just because he's moving out, I'm just gonna do a simple little move here, which is run in with one knight and basically cause the same amount of chaos as I did earlier. More idle time, making it hard for him to even age up. And raiding is all about timing. Like, you don't raid when the opponent is sitting in their base, you know, you raid when the opponent is moving out like he did, and now you went back, so now he has to move out again, and by the time he moves out again, well, it's gonna be too late. And that's Age of Empires, baby. I'm gonna research that. Get some more of these. Get some more archer ranges. And now we can go for it. I'll get the knights too for when I kill all the. Oh, okay. I have boiling oil, so that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna get knights for when I wipe out all the crossbows. I'm getting 2 incendiary arrows about to be completed. I can do one of these just to have forward outpost, basically, a forward hold place to get back to. And incendiary arrows is done. And now we go. So again, I can do the run by. So, again, this was almost... I swear this guy's not a paid actor. And I'm not gonna lie, this matchup is pretty hard, but this is how you can play it. Now, another way you can play this, by the way, is to stay in 1 TC and do an all-in on his gold. But I think... Okay, so let me put it this way. If the opponent rushes castle and you stay 1 TC and you go knights, archers, and you push on gold fast, that's very good for you. But if you commit to that, and he says, okay, well, I'm not going to rush castle, I'll just stay in feudal, then I think that's very bad for you. Because he's just going to sit in his base, under his chapel, get more farms, and then you're kind of screwed. Yeah. But this was, like I said, perfect case scenario. And I thought he played pretty well early on. Like, he found the deer, which, as someone who plays OTD quite a bit, finding deer instantly with your scout is really big. Because you get, what is it, like 2,350 food? 2.3, 2.4k food extra, which is equivalent to like 11, 12 sheep if you find a deer immediately, and you don't even have to invest too much into it, so it's quite big. And I think like him making a tower here, they were right on time. He even made spears, right? Which if he didn't, I would have tower rushed here, and he would be screwed with the castle rushing, right? So I thought he played the early game well. Obviously later on it was like, you know, multitasking and everything else. But even if the OTD or HRE takes like 3 relics, if you're on 2 TC, as long as you prolong like all the relic taking and stuff long enough, then your economy will kick in. Like if you look at the villagers, it's, you know, I'm at 140, 50 villagers, he's on 38. Let's say he is HRE, he would be on like maybe 67, 68, so he'd be here and I'm here. I'm careful listening, thanks for all. Thank you, Hips, for playing. You played really well early on. I think later on you got out multitask. You want to escort your prelates with your units very carefully. I think like what he was doing is like at lower levels, you can just send a prelate and people won't pay attention. But a top player immediately notices when the relics are missing and then just intercept your stuff. So you gotta escort your relics one by one with your units, you know, to make sure you actually get them. So yeah, even if HR or OTD gets some relics and stuff, it's still not, you know, terrible because, or unplayable because you still have 2 TC. But if you, like, if they age up and they immediately take to, wait, what the fuck? Wait, who the fuck is this? Wait, is this Corvinus? Is this Louis? 81% win rate. Anyway, I was like, how do I have myself in the friend list? As long as you prolong their eco, then it's okay if they have relics. But like I said, if you... Sorry, I got interrupted by that. But if they age up and they pick up 3 relics immediately, then it kind of negates all your economic advantage you have from 2TC, and then you're gonna struggle. So, in general, I think French at lower levels is still quite good and can do a lot of damage. At higher levels, I feel like people know how to defend like the knight harassment and stuff, so it becomes a lot harder to deal damage to your opponents early on. So most of the time, you're kind of playing either the cock trade, or you're playing 2TC, or you're playing some kind of defensive version while harassing at the same time. So I'll go through the matchups. If you're playing against Byzantine, I would suggest you mass units as fast as possible, and you actually want to make a crap ton of archers to kill their Limitanei faster than their javelins kill your archers. Then your knights can clean up the javelin throwers, and I would probably suggest you to go cock, but not commit to it, as in not make more traders, because the Byzantine will most likely all in you. So I would say just go cock into archer knight and just get like 6 free traders from the upgrades, and then just kind of play it from then on while having like the higher eco count. Japanese is very similar to HRE and OTD, which I explained earlier when I was playing against them. HRE and OTD and Japanese are usually castle rushing, and if they are, you have 2 options, which is number 1, either go 2TC or cock if you want to boom that way. And as they're trying to age up, do a little bit of harassment. You can always tower rush their gold with 1 villager, even if you're going cock or even if you're going 2TC, because that forces either more towers or it forces them to make units, so you slow down their age up. But in general, you know, they're usually going to try to age up and then just mass mounted samurais. So that's kind of it. Against Abbasid, I played the game. I already kind of explained everything there is, but my advice is the best thing you can do is just commit to feudal pushes. And again, I don't know, when you're watching this video, the patch might be different, but you will not be able to outboom Abbasid as French. Ayubid is very similar to Abbasid. French kind of has same problems because of the camels, but Ayubid is more aggressive version of Abbasid. They are not likely to have 2 or 3 or 4 TCs, so they will pretty much be on equal or behind on economy compared to you, but they will be able to fight you even in feudal with the desert raiders, or go castle rush. So they're kind of in between like Abbasid and castle rush civs. They can both play. They can play in feudal and castle rushing, and the camels are going to be a big issue. So I definitely advise you to, if the Ayubid is in castle, to probably go spearman and not go knight versus camel lancers. You're going to be dead. China and Jushi. I had a match against China. Jushi and China matchups against French are more or less the same. You can go to TC, or I prefer to go chamber, because then you can, I feel like, boom quite a lot harder. And while you're going chamber, they're going to either try to go to TC as well, so you're entering this kind of boom game, or they will attack you, in which case all you gotta do is defend. I actually don't think this matchup is as bad as a lot of people think in Imperial, because of the Red Palace and all the Arbalest emplacements you have on your keeps and stuff. This used to be like super favored for China, but I think in Imperial it's not that bad, because you're more or less like immune to raiding because of the Arbalest from TCs and keeps doing so much damage, and you can make infinite amount of keeps. And if you're going some traders and you have guild hole, you should have more keeps and more gold in the late game, but their units in a straight up engagement are going to be better, so you kind of have to outmass them in a way with better units. French versus French, French versus JD. Again, very, very similar. French versus French is just usually mass knights. You can go for like 2 knight opening into barracks into second town center, so you kind of put a break on the whole mass knight thing, and you go spearman, and then you make second TC, and then you continue, or you go back to knight production. That's something you could try, or in general, just mass knights works great. French versus JD is an interesting one because French will have way more knights, but JD will have way better efficiency with resources because the units are going to be cheaper on food, right? So as French, in my opinion, you have an advantage in the matchup because JD is not that good in this matchup. JD is really good into like archers or spearmen, but JD versus knights doesn't do that much. And it's also very easy to lose JD in this matchup. So yeah, Torino TD we covered already. French versus Delhi. In my opinion, French is favored here for the simple reason of Delhi wants to cap sacred sites, Delhi wants to stay in feudal, and you have knights and you have archers. So when you age up, you go knights. Delhi, if they go Ghazi Raiders, you can just double down on knights and go 2 stable knights, and they will be forced to go spearmen. And when they go spearmen, you go archers, so you have a better comp the more units you guys have. And you're also growing your eco-lead slowly by producing villagers. French versus English, I played the matchup. I told you guys what to do about that. In general, you should have huge map advantage against English, and you can do a lot of different things. But obviously, defensively, they're going to be better than you. But their army should be way more immobile. Now, the hard matchups. The worst matchups, I would say, which French has a lot of bad matchup. Actually, let's talk about Rus. Rus versus French. Since the Rus nerfs especially, I feel like French is probably just better in that matchup. In the tempo department, in the initial stages of the game, because you both have access to knights, but you can make knights faster. Your TC can be more greedy on the map, and you will have more villagers. Now they do have Kremlin, but Kremlin won't cover the whole map. In the super late game, they do have Streltsy, which are gonna mow you down, but until then, you should have better time in the matchup. Now, French, the reason why it's not popular at the high level, which should not discourage you from playing French in general, because you're not playing at the top Conqueror 3 level, but the reason why French is not played that much at the top level is because it has a lot of hard counters. It doesn't really counter a lot of civs. It has some good matchups, but it's not like, ooh, I got French versus English, I auto win. But it has a lot of bad matchups, and those matchups include Abbasid, Byzantine, HRE, OTD, Malian, Mongol, and Ottoman. Those matchups are very, very tough. And I feel like they're probably tough on every level. French versus Malian is probably the worst matchup for French that exists in the that exists for them. And the simple reason for that is you cannot put pressure on Malian to prevent their eco boom or a cow boom. You cannot rush castle and like try to do something there. If you go 2 TC, they go cow boom, they will have way more units. So everywhere you look, I feel like it's not you just don't have the timings. My best advice for you is if you're playing French versus Malian, do a Dark Age Tower Rush on their gold. It will slow them down quite a bit, and then maybe try to follow it up with an all-in after that, or go for 2 TC or trade boom. It will slow them down severely, especially if you manage to kill the pit mine and the houses and so on and so forth. French versus Mongol, again, is very spawn-based matchup. Sometimes if the Mongol, I'll say this again, if the Mongol tower rushes your gold, you can go on stone and get second town center. If the Mongol tower rushes your stone, you just stay on 1 town center and you just spam knights, archers, and you push against the enemy. Then, if the enemy tower rushes your gold, it's very important where your second gold is. If your other golds are behind the tower, you're going to have a very bad time, probably very low chance of winning. But if you have a gold in the back, second gold in the back, you can just go on that one, and the tower rush doesn't really do too much. But yeah, in general, a pretty tough one. And then Ottoman. Ottoman is a bit of a mixed bag. It goes from actually a good matchup for French to just atrocious. So I think in feudal, Ottoman versus French is quite alright for French. You know, you have knights, you can go second TC pretty easily, or you can go cock. You have knights versus Sipahi in feudal, you're fine. Ottoman hasn't been a great civ in the current state of the meta. I don't know what the future holds. But the problem comes if you don't have some kind of advantage going into castle or God forbid an imperial. The Janissaries will absolutely butcher you. So this is probably the only matchup, maybe also Malian, where you have to go man-at-arms. You, at some point, once the Janissaries start coming out, you have to ditch the knights. You cannot continue making knights versus Janissaries. They will kill everything, okay? Now, the good news. Let's talk about the good news. The good news is that siege meta is moving away from the game. So in the newest patch, again, depending when you're watching this is 2024 October. So we're about to have massive siege changes, and these siege changes overall are good for French because French is not a civ that uses a lot of siege. Like, French usually doesn't go for these Springald Wars or mass Mangonel and stuff like that. So because of that, civs that rely more on siege are kind of getting indirect nerf regarding that. And another thing that's happening is the melee units, specifically Elite Army Tactics, I don't know if they're going to change it, is getting nerfed. So spearmen are getting nerfed, men-at-arms are getting nerfed, which means that cavalry is better. The fact that cavalry will do even more damage to siege because siege has less HP is very good for French. Very, very good. So the cavalry is getting a big thumbs up in the next patch and is going to do a lot better. And biology is getting another 10% HP on top of that buff. So as far as that goes, Imperial French looks like it's going to be pretty good. But we'll see what the future holds. In general, I hope you guys learn how to play French like a pro. Hopefully me giving you my thoughts as I played and as I, went through the games helped you to understand how to play French a little bit better, when to raid, when to attack, and so on and so forth. The next one we're going to be doing, I'm not sure yet, is going to be either Rus or Mongol. I'll decide. And that's it. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Check me out on Twitch or Pro Live right now. Twitch gamers, let's keep going.